Hockey on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Ram Trucks. Come in for a great deal during the Ram year-end blockbuster sales event. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Welcome back to Nashville, where the Red Wings are about to take on the Predators on this day after Christmas event. The first of 9 games on the road in their next 10 games for the Red Wings. Here's what Justin Abdelkader thinks of what lies ahead.
You know, I have to have the road mentality. You got to be smart in other teams' buildings first 5-10 minutes. You know, coming off a 3-day break, I think, it's important for us to keep our shift short right away and get engaged.
No team has played fewer road games this year than the Red Wings, who have played a dozen, going 6-3-3 in those dozen games. They'll look to add another win to the column here tonight against the Preds. And for the call of all the action, let's get you upstairs to Ken Daniels. He's alongside Chris Osgood. Guys?
Trevor, 3 fewer road games than any other team, in fact, so a long road to hoe for sure for the Red Wings. Coming up in the second half, our goaltenders are brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Peter Mrazek, who came on in relief down 3-0 to New Jersey Tuesday, but wound up with the loss, even though he allowed just 1. And Pekka Rinne, the Preds give up the second fewest shots per game in the NHL, roughly 25 a night. And plenty of Red Wing fans here tonight to watch their team. A month from now, the NHL will descend upon Broadway in Nashville for the All-Star Weekend. As we're underway, Pavel Datsyuk starts up front with Darren Helm and Brad Richards for Detroit, and it's De Keyser and Kronwall on the back end, as Jeff Blashill has had to mix up his defense pairings, but he's sticking with Kronwall and De Keyser as his top duo, Chris.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you? De Keyser, my estimation, has been the Red Wings' best defenseman all year. Kronwall, the steady veteran top pair. We'll see a lot of action against Nashville's top players here tonight.
Mike Ribeiro at center for Nashville, number 63. Philip Forsberg, no relation to Peter, number 9. And Craig Smith, number 15. That's Ryan Ellis, who put it in back of the net. Played as junior with the Windsor Spitfires. Carried to center here by Kronwall for Pavel Datsyuk. 8 points the month of December. Leading the Red Wings, knocked down with a high stick as it's touched there by Philip Forsberg. And a face-off coming up. And Pavel Datsyuk's numbers in 66 games, 71 points against these Predators. His numbers are fantastic in his career against Nashville.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who just enjoys playing here in Nashville. Had the opportunity to play with Pavel many years. It's always seemed when we came into this building, it was one of those places for him. Just felt comfortable. Wow, did he put up some points here.
So the place where he succeeds so much, a reminder to stay with us during our first and second intermissions tonight. There's terrific features on Pavel Datsyuk for you. That'll be held by Rinne, who likes to grab everything, catch everything if he can. Your thoughts on Pekka Rinne as a netminder?
Great athleticism. I think if you get him moving, though, you can open up some holes. I've seen this year his stick side isn't as strong as his glove. Obviously one of the best gloves in the National Hockey League. Red Wings have to expose that stick side, get him moving side to side.
See his home save percentage much better. Funnily enough, Rinne's one-loss record when facing fewer shots isn't nearly as good as when he faces lots. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. Just make him count, I guess. Best you can. He's one goaltender, maybe you don't want to fire everything at him. It just gets him hotter. Some goaltenders are like that, I guess. Back to pick it up is Josi on defense with Shea Weber. Out there against his nemesis, I guess, Henrik Zetterberg. Brendan Smith, good play to get back. Able to recover there on Neal. Sent in, and Mrazek will hold on. James Neal out there along with Wilson and Kelly Yarncroc, the former Red Wing draft selection. As you look at James Neal, who's had 20 or more goals in 7 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, and he can be a frustrating player for Coach Laviolette. Guy has great offensive ability, but tends to take some penalties that really irk the coaching staff. And when he's playing well and playing composed, he can be a very good player.
Came over from Pittsburgh for Patrick Hornquist and Nick Spalling. Spalling no longer there. Alexei Marchenko on defense with Jakob Kindl. Tipped to the line, but not out. Thomas Yurko getting an opportunity to play with Riley Sheahan and Tomas Tatar. As this will be an icing, so a good chance for Tomas Yurko. And we were speaking with them this morning, Chris, in the dressing room, and he wants to be known as Tomasz, and Tomasz Nosek. And Tatar chimed in, and he said, I'll go with that too. I'm now Tomasz also.
Well, Tomasz,
so all the Thomases are now Tomashes in Detroit.
Tomasz Jurko has had a lot of chances here. He's got to really perform here in the next 10 games. This is another opportunity. He's on a third line with Shane Tatar. He's got to play well here tonight in Nashville.
That's offside as it was brought in by Victor Arvidsson, who played very well for Nashville. Just a 5'9" native of Sweden who goes to the hard areas. He was AHL Player of the Month in November, and if you remember, in the Red Wings 5-4 overtime win, this kid sticks his nose into places, and he battles.
For sure, in the new NHL, with the rules now, there's a lot of smaller players. Johnny Gaudreau comes to mind. Patrick Kane, obviously in Chicago, but the smaller player now can live and thrive in the National Hockey League, and that's a good thing.
Making his NHL debut, there goes Tomasz Nosek, number 83, up there along with Joachim Anderson and Luke Glendening, the fourth line for the Red Wings. And Seth Jones played 2 seasons with the U.S. National Development Team in Ann Arbor. Carried in by Paul Gostad, deflected away, up the middle, and here is Nosek. Very dependable. Playing for Jeff Blashill in Grand Rapids. Blashill says he trusts him in any area of the ice, as signing a free agent by the Red Wings. Comes back to the line and gloved down by Ellis. Ryan Ellis put it wide of the net. Ribeiro, good puck handler and a good drop pass there, but taken and then stolen off the stick of Brad Richards, who was unable to get it out. Back in for Philip Forsberg, number 9 for Nashville. Nashville wearing their home gold jerseys. They don't like to call them mustard. They are gold. Here it is for Richards on the wing, and a backhander kicked away by Rene. Pavel Datsyuk knocked away from him. Ellis plays it ahead over the stick of DeKaiser. Smith gets bumped there by Kronwall, and the Red Wings helm able to put it back into his own zone. You're not a fan of the gold helmets, are you?
Not one bit. And fan of the Red Wings, though. Quick changes. Coach Blashill off for 3 days, traveling the day of a game. And it's imperative the Red Wings change quick here, especially in the first 10 minutes of the game where Nashville really likes to come after you.
Rene plays it around. Does he handle the puck well, Rene?
Yeah, the Red Wings might want to start thinking of keeping the puck away from, really pay attention.
Welcome back on Fox Sports Detroit Plus in a 1-1 tie. The Red Wings holding down the second wild card spot, or the first wild card spot in the Eastern Conference, and a point behind Florida for one of the guaranteed spots, and Boston, top 3 in the division, get in. So too many men on the ice as Gus Nyquist will serve it. The catfish in Nashville is their octopus.
I think the octopus is a lot. Not that either are very good looking, but we'll go with the octopus. Red Wings here with far too many men on the ice penalties this season so far. We have a big deal here with this thing tied at 1.
Off the draw, it comes back as the Predators control off the face-off for Josi. Across to Weber, who had 3 power play goals in the first meeting that Detroit won earlier this month, 5-4 at Joe Louis Arena. Red Wings scored first that night, too. Nashville scored the next 3 before Detroit would launch their comeback. Weber, 3 power play goals. He's got it now, and that great shot for number 6 for Josi. To Forsberg, to Weber, skate the stick back in front, knocked away by Mrazek. High slot, Josi shooting, save made, and Mrazek not sure where it is, but got the whistle and got his glove on it anyway. Although the Nashville supporters didn't think the whistle should have gone, but it would have eventually.
Mrazek, being his aggressive self again, was smartly came out nice and far to the blue here. Forsberg with a beautiful pass across to Weber, and Mrazek does a good job to follow him there, and then gets back on his feet, comes out and challenge, very aggressive out and corrals that rebound. Mrazek, after 3 days off, doesn't look rusty at all here. The Red Wings do a good job of collapsing down. Got to figure out a way to get in Weber's way here, though, on these penalty kills.
Nashville's power play 9th in the league, 3 for 11 the past 3 games. Scored scored one in each of their past three, coming off a 5-1 win over Montreal Monday night that had 5 different goal scorers for the Predators. They've won their last 2 games. But in their last 10 games, Nashville is just 4-4-2. And in those 10, they've been without Mike Fisher. They were 13-7-4 before he got hurt and have gone 4-4-2 since. So they really miss him. But a bad giveaway there by Detroit. And Jones ripped a shot that hit glass. Back for Jones again. Jones turning, giving it for Ellis. Back for Jones. Now to Ribeiro. Comes here for Jones. Ribeiro turning. He's got Wilson with him along with Craig Smith. That's Colin Wilson. Jones circling at the line for Ryan Ellis. Jones for Wilson. A shot hit the skate of Brendan Smith. Ellis around to Ribeiro, who gets bumped by Brendan Smith. Wilson across the shot. Save Mrazek. Penalty over. Nyquist out of the box, who was serving the too many men. But Wilson's got it. His shot goes off a stick of helm, up and out of play.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Red Wings don't want to be in the penalty box here in Nashville tonight too much. Very, very good-looking power play for Nashville. And big save by Mrazek here. Once again, he looks sharp here. Tied at 1. Be back after the break.
It was short-lived for 45 seconds, but Brendan Smith's second goal gave the Red Wings the lead.
Yeah, Fisher and Brendan Smith. Nice shot here. Good job by Helm in front to create the screen on Rennie, but great play by Smith. He's doing it at both ends. He's been very good for the Red Wings. Seems to have solidified himself a spot here. The 6th defenseman for the Red Wings, and deservedly so, playing alongside Green. A nice pairing for the Red Wings since they've been united together.
Kyle Quincy and Jonathan Ericsson both out skating during practice today and working with the line, so they're getting closer to returning. There's going to be a logjam back there. No icing as Abdelkader got in there before Weber. Kronwall with it. And this will be icing as Yossi got there first. Reminder to see the action live Sunday, December 17th, or in January, when the Wings face off against the Flyers. It's Kids Day, and the first 2,500 kids 12 and under will receive a toothbrush holder. That should be January 17th. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by. Cleared ahead and knocked out to center ice by Zetterberg as the Red Wings want to get a change. Knocked away on another rush there by Yossi, and he's a penchant for doing that. 9 goals and 26 points on the season to lead Nashville for Yossi. That shot ripped off the glass. Knocked down was Ribeiro. Ribeiro's got it again. Put it in front, then Mrazek was bumped into by Smith, but they say DeKaiser helped the Nashville forward into the Red Wing netminder. Brad Richards has it. Played along the near boards by Richards, then it's sent past him off the glass. And a bouncing puck that Brendan Smith just threw back into the Predator zone. Nashville in the midst of changes. Red Wings following suit. Standing up at the line was Brendan Smith on Mattias Ekholm. Ekholm kept it in again. Nick Lidstrom was his favorite player to watch growing up. Good choice. Brendan Smith. No one in particular. But it won't be an icing. Some good hustle there by Tomas Jurko to get down the ice. Nystrom with a rink-wide feed. Eric Nystrom, son of Bob, the former Islander hero. He was going to the front of the net. Tatar's got it for Detroit. Didn't like what he saw. Hindle will give it back for Alexei Marchenko. Marchenko playing his 28th game this season. Under 7.5 to go, first period. Ken Daniels along with Chris Osgood and Trevor Thompson. And our Fox Sports Detroit Plus crew here in Nashville as it's knocked down on a long attempted feed for Nosek. Playing in his first NHL game here tonight. In for the injured Dylan Larkin, who's day-to-day. Ekholm played it off the glass, back into the Red Wing end for Smith, who has the Red Wing goal from Marchenko and Datsuk. For Forsberg replied from Ribeiro for Nashville, and that's where we stand. That puck hit the curved glass, and it's up and out of play. Well, yesterday on Christmas Day, Eric Nystrom asked his girlfriend Chelsea to marry him. She said yes. I said, how did you do it? He said, I put the ring in the stocking. I said, you set the bar very, very high. He said, yes, next year it may have to be a stocking around a car. I've created a monster.
Oh, wow.
May have to be. How do you top a wedding ring?
How are you going to top the car?
I
The following
don't know.
year. It has to stop somewhere.
Wow. Exactly. You'd think it would.
Well, congrats to him.
Yeah. Good guy. Spent a lot of years at the University of Michigan.
And his dad was quite the player for the New York Islanders. Wow.
Puck's knocked down as Weber brought it back in and goes after it. Weber took a peek behind, threw it off the stick of Abdelkader. Now Wilson watched there by DeKaiser, hit the referee's skate. Weber backing up, able to get it again, threw it toward the goal, off Abdelkader, loose in front of the net. DeKaiser just banked it off the boards and out the center. Penalty coming here to Detroit as Josi was dumped at center ice. So Rene's gone to the bench for an extra skater. So when we come back, it'll be a Nashville power play. For that, the trip, we're back in a moment. Junior championship, what a coming out party for Peter Mrazek. He was named best goaltender, tournament all-star team as he defeated the United States, and we take a look at the Ace Hardware Ace Watch and those Red Wings that are playing at the 2016 World Junior Championship, currently going on over in Finland. And Joe Hicketts, unfortunately, today had the big goal go off his own stick as the United States defeated Canada. First loss for Canada in the opening game of the tournament since 1998, as the U.S. beat them 4-2 in Finland this afternoon. But plenty of prospects to watch for the Red Wings. As Nashville on the power play, but no longer. Interference, the call.
Darren Helm did a great job keeping his feet moving. Red Wings have been aggressive up high in the points.
2 minutes for interference.
And they have to be in. Josi taking the body late on Helm, but give Helm credit. Very aggressive, used his legs, used his speed to create that penalty. We'll go 4-4.
There's your old coach, Peter Laviolette.
Yeah, he came from Boston, was the assistant with Iron Mike Keenan in Boston, first head coaching job with the Islanders. And that was a fun year, Ken. We made the playoffs the first time, I think, in 11 years. First home opener, the game I played for the Islanders was against the Red Wings. Most nerve-wracking game I've ever played in.
Well, I have to say that he did tell me this morning, I said, give me something I can use about Chris Osgood, will you? And he said, I can't unless it's great, because he was just that good for us and we wouldn't have made it without him.
You're talking like that stings you to say that.
I was looking for something funny. Lead pass and just out of the reach, Datsuk. Good play by Ekholm coming back. I was trying to get you with something, but he couldn't. He just had praise galore, and rightfully so. He had a great year.
Yeah, and Laviolette, he's one of those coaches that preaches offense, 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 and he wants to have the puck. He's come to Nashville and done a great job with his team.
Barry Trotz had been here for 15 years, and Trotz departed, and he's got the Washington Capitals in a great position right
that's
now.
A tough job for Laviolette to replace him.
Yeah.
A lot of charity work here, a guy that's very well respected in the Nashville area.
For sure. Here it is to Kindle. And that went off the stick of Neal, who flexes it to make sure it's not going to break on the next shot. As the teams here go four aside, a nice spin move to get away that the crowd liked from Sheahan by Wilson. Sheahan's got it now, though. Zetterberg over, and it's kicked back here by DeKeyser. Pinto will wait as the forwards change. Leaves it for DeKeyser. Just over 4 to play here in the opening period. Goals coming 45 seconds apart. The Red Wings open the scoring. Ekholm back for Craig Smith. 4th round pick. Back in 09 was Smith, who's had a slow start to the season. Here's Nyquist. Back it goes for Richards. Power play for just another 5 seconds for Detroit. That's where the numbers get a little bit skewed in the Holford department. You only get one for 10 seconds or so. Turned back here by Brad Richards. Long shot in. Handled by Rene. He'll play it himself, but gave it away. It was knocked down by Anderson, and Craig Smith has it. Forsberg turning. Jackman. Back for Forsberg. Seth Jones couldn't get it cleanly. Off Glendening and out to center. Played back by Nashville, allowing Nosek to get on it. He gets driven into the Predators bench area by Jack. And then Anderson went down. Forsberg's pass knocked down at center ice and played back in by Joachim Anderson. And the Red Wings will get a change going here. Datsyuk now joined by Helm and Yurko. Mrazek moves it for Brendan Smith. Flips it over here for Helm. With a lead pass, Yurko skates to center and gives it back to Helm. Into the right wing offensive corner for Nystrom and Datsyuk. It's poked at by Yossi. Yurko took a hit from Paul Gostad, who's a big body. Played in by Weber. Pavel Datsyuk through the middle. 3 goals, 11 points for Pavel. After missing the early part of the season, following the ankle surgery for the ruptured tendons during the offseason for Datsyuk. Lead pass went off the stick of Cody Hodgson. Back on it is Green. Made the play to the corner and goes after it. Moved it ahead for Abdelkader. Rene played it. Minute 30 to go in the opening period. Called offside off the pass made across for Colton Sissons. Just over a minute playing time from now. Trevor Thompson's here with us in Nashville for our Ram Intermission Report. And Pavel Datsyuk, there's more to the story, part 1, and it's terrific. So join us in our first and second intermissions tonight for more on the Magic Man, Pavel Datsyuk. He and the Red Wings have points in 15 of their past 17 games. So they picked up a 9-2-6. That goes off the stick of Riley Sheahan, up and out of play.
I find that stat incredible. 15 of the last 17 games have gotten to a point, still find themselves in that pack of teams. Florida, Boston, Detroit, Ottawa, New Jersey. A lot of teams. Tampa Bay is coming up now. So wow, it's so important to get points each and every night here with 9 of your next 10 on the road. The Red Wings really got to play good hockey. And some nights when you don't have it, you got to figure out a way to get a point.
Yeah. Of those 34 possible points in 17 games, they picked up 24.
And that's going to happen on this road trip. When you're on the road that long, you're going to have some nights where you just don't have your legs. You're not feeling 100%. Got to find a way to get points each and every night here.
9 of their next 10, all but New Year's Eve. A 6 o'clock start at the Joe against Pittsburgh. Will be away from Joe Louis Arena. As Trevor Thompson mentioned off the top tonight, the Red Wings have played fewer road games than any other team in the National Hockey League, and 3 fewer at that. So a lot of ground to make up.
And let's not get too worried. The Red Wings have been a good road team over the last couple seasons, so they're going to win their fair share on the road as well.
6-3-3 this season, away from Joe Louis Arena, where they are 11-7-4. But it is so tight now in the National Hockey League. And with 3-point games, it may not take the 99 or 98 points to make the playoffs this year as it did last year, with points being so evenly distributed. Dozen seconds to go in the period, given away. Chance here as Datsuk's catching up with Helm, who takes a peek. Predators coming back as Helm shoots, but Josi got a stick on that, the Swiss native, and the puck goes up and out of play.
Yeah, Josi makes a great play here to get a stick in the shooting lane, but Datsuk just runs out of gas here. He had separation, then Nashville came back late in the shift for Datsuk to get involved in that play, and Josi does a nice job to get his stick on puck there and deflect that high into the netting.
Everyone talks about Weber as their best defenseman. He may be their best defensive defenseman, and he's great offensively too, but may he not be as good as Weber in the big scheme of things?
I think he will be. I think in the end, probably be a better all-round defenseman than Weber, and Seth Jones as well. And it always seems when we come to Nashville, we're talking about them having a stable of defensemen each and every year.
So 20 minutes in the books here at Bridgestone Arena. In a 1-1 tie, Brendan Smith opened the scoring from Marchenko and Datsuk, and Philip Forsberg from Ribeiro tied the game 1-1 45 seconds later, and not a lot of shots. The Predators had 6. The Red Wings with 4. That one gets past that he never saw, and Mrazek beaten by Forsberg. Trevor Thompson on the other side of this break. And welcome back to Music City and the site of the All-Star Weekend coming up just over a month from now. Purchase a $67 fan pack to see the Wings and Blues Wednesday, January 20th. 2 tickets, 2 food vouchers, and 2 soft drinks starting at just $67. To get your fan pack tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by. And if you get down to the Joe, you can see some netminders play the puck like we saw here in the first period tonight in Nashville. Pekka Rinne and Peter Mrazek.
Absolutely, Ken. A big reason the shots were 6-4 in the first period. Not a lot of shots. Both these goaltenders, Pekka Rinne, Peter Mrazek, are very good at playing the puck. These just aren't subtle plays by Rinne. These are third defenseman style plays that enable his team to get out of their zone. Here, when you're that good, you take some chances. Anderson, a good job to knock it down, but Rinne, very good, one of the best in the league. And Mrazek, now these are just subtle plays to his defenseman. Just touches, 10-foot passes that make a huge difference in the end and allow your defenseman to make the easier play to get out of your zone. Both goalies very good in the first period at handling the puck. Both teams got to be aware of that. Make good dumps.
Not a lot of shots at either netminder in that opening period. Peter Mrazek facing just 6. Pekka Rinne facing only 4. Red Wings have won the past 3 meetings and 6-2 the past 8 against Nashville. This is the second and final meeting of the season. The Red Wings won the first earlier this month at the Joe in overtime. Long stretch pass ahead for Helm, who goes after it. Helm back of the net, trying to fend off Ekholm and Ribeiro. Ellis on Datsuk. Matthias Ekholm at the puck go off Datsuk's stick, kept in there by Kronwall. Kronwall in defense with the Kaiser. Second effort. Brought on by the defenseman. Ekholm up there along with Forsberg, who chipped it, and then off the back of the net. Richards gets checked. Datsuk turns with it. Again gets dumped. Penalty coming here to the Predators. As Pavel Datsuk was tripped up, so delayed penalty. As Rob Martel has his arm in the air, as does Brian Pochmera. Way down the other end of the ice, he saw that one as both officials with the delayed call.
Nashville penalty number 15, minor penalty for tripping.
So the Red Wings power play, that's 17th in the league, but 3rd best in the NHL on the road, goes against the Nashville penalty killing, and your local Toyota dealers brings you the report card on that, where month by month it has dropped to last in the National Hockey League in the month of December and 29th overall for the season.
That's a surprising statistic considering the defense Nashville can put out there, and they got one of the better goaltenders in the National Hockey League. Still struggle mightily on their penalty kill.
Red Wings had a very short power play in the first period. They've got 4 power play goals their past 5 games. They're all against New Jersey. Nyquist brings it on with a good move to gain territory. Getting it back from Kendall and pushed it to the line. Across to Zetterberg, and a shot went off a stick and wide. Weber tried to clear, couldn't. Got help there from Kelly Yarncroc, doesn't get out. Zetterberg down low, Abdelkader closed off. And the Predators able to clear. Henrik Zetterberg goes across for Abdelkader. 11 goals in the season for Abdelkader. Bonwall lost an edge and went down. And Roman Josi able to clear it. Kendall pressured on the way back by Mika Salomaki. Native of Finland, as you would have guessed. Second round pick in 2011 of Nashville. Brad Richards back for Pavel Datsyuk. Moved on here. Or Tatar to Richards. Cross for Green. Bolton Sissons up front for Nashville. Along with Salomaki. Saved by Rene. Came back for Green. Quick shot. Rene got over to the other side. Datsyuk flung it around. Taken there by Tatar. Back to the line for Richards. Richards with a shot. Off the stick to score. Shane going to the goal. And it's 2-1 Detroit. 2:55 into period 2. A power play goal.
A great puck movement by the Red Wings on this, and Richards, great shot pass through. Thought about just shooting on a net, the national net, but got his head up right here. Finds Shane to the left for the goal, and Shane does a nice job crawling that rebound, sending it home past Rene. But watch Richards, looks, pauses, puts that shot. That's a shot pass. That's a pass through to Shane, and does a great job of crawling. Boy, you got to love what the Red Wings are doing here last couple of weeks is they're going to the net. They always have a net front presence, making the game really hard on the goaltender there. Shane putting that home to put the Red Wings up by 1.
So the Red Wings power play now has 5 power play goals. They're past 5 games in a period and a bit, and taking advantage of a penalty killing unit that has slid for Nashville.
Absolutely. When a team is struggling on their penalty kill, you got to get pucks to the net. The second unit for the Wings did just that with net front presence. And what a play by Richards to find Shane in front, putting that pass through. Nice little shot pass, and Shane finishes it off. And Riley Shane does so many things well. It's good to see him get on the board here.
So the Red Wings, their second lead of the game. Yurko, Glendening, and Helm out for Detroit. Knocked down before it got through to Mrazek. Bolton Sissons' turn. Out along with Cody Hodgson, who gives chase into the corner. Now back to the line, left it there, intercepted. Brendan Smith brings it ahead. Smith into the Nashville zone with a good move. Knocked away, but held in by Glendening. Across to Helm, back in front of the net. Oh, and he just couldn't finish stick check. Back for Marchenko. To an open Kendall, a shot, and that hit a body and went wide. Played through the legs of Yurko. Knocked it out of the air. And back at center, Marchenko into his own end. Nyquist with a shot that goes off the stick up into the protective netting and out of play.
Well, Darren Helm with a great opportunity, and the one thing Rene is known for is his long legs, and he uses them here. It's a nice move by Helm and a good play just to get himself to the goal and drive the net. Good opportunity, and Rene, he's got great legs, very flexible. Pull down, kick that puck away. Red Wings have some momentum after taking the lead 2-1 and continue to go after Nashville.
Well, Rene, who has not faced a lot of shots tonight, he stopped 35 of 36 in a win over Montreal Monday, and faced 36 in the loss to Detroit earlier. And he'll grab that one. And for the most part, as we mentioned earlier, A Nashville netminder is better when he faces more shots, at least his one-loss record.
And especially after having a Christmas break and not practicing as a goaltender, you want to get a lot of shots. You want to get a lot of action now.
Both teams obviously had morning skates today after the Red Wings getting off a plane and coming in, and neither team skating for 3 days. You needed the morning skate for sure today. There was no option for either side this morning. Quick shot by Neal, just went wide. All the way back down as Rene comes out to play it. And off the glass himself. Kronwall moves it for Abdelkader and right back down ice. So Rene has it again. Ahead for Roman Josi. His real estate taken away immediately. Tatar, who got the second assist on the second Red Wing goal. Tatar. Josi gives back for Shea Weber. 10 goals and 25 points in the season for Weber, and 6 points his past 3 games coming into the game tonight. Shea and Yurko couldn't get it off. Played back in. Weber backhands it around. Forsberg with a good feed for Smith. Craig Smith with a shot. That hit the glass. Comes down here for Ribeiro. Back to the point. Ekholm. Save right back out. Ellis put it in deep. Ribeiro trying to free it up for the Predators. Couldn't do it. And played by Marchenko. No icing indicated here as Glendening can go in, and he was hit from behind by Ellis in an awkward position. He went down. Anderson able to get to the free puck to the line for Kindle. Now the other side, Marchenko. Tipped in front and just wide. Played ahead by Salomaki. And a race for the puck into the Red Wing zone went Nystrom. Tied up by Marchenko. Anderson gave it back, and a lead pass by Nosek. And icing indicated here against Detroit. Calle Jarnkrok, the 51st overall pick of the Red Wings in 2010 on that draw, number 19 for Nashville against Pavel Datsyuk. Jarnkrok, who played for Jeff Blashill during his time in Grand Rapids. Played 66 games for Blashill during his time there. You should check out the Atlantic Division standings.
See, there's a 5-point differential from 6th to 1st, and that could change. Important, you can't go in any type of losing streak. You got to continue to get points night in and night out.
James Neal. Backhanded in front on the return pass by Wilson, taken here by Kindle. Jackman able to knock it down for the Predators. Then he gets knocked down by Anderson. That went off the stick from his own side of center by Helm, so there'll be another icing here against Detroit.
Well, Ken, the Datsyuk line can't get off the ice right now, but getting some rest here, icing it twice, but really taking their time to get back here, get some type of energy ready here, and get something set up. Big draw here. The Red Wings can win this. They got to get this line off the ice.
Forsberg. Back to the line for Ellis. Off the stick of a chucking Brad Richards. And out of play. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit Plus, presented by Bell Tire. Thomas Nosek just up from Grand Rapids, and the team he leaves has a 14-game winning streak, and after 2 periods in Cleveland, leading Lake Erie 5-3 are the Griffins, looking to extend the franchise record to 15 games, and they haven't done it against teams who aren't winning. Anthony Mantha with 18 points. Colin Campbell's got a couple of goals tonight.
Incredible streak. AHL, a very tough league, good hockey league. Grand Rapids Griffins playing very good hockey.
And we showed you those who are over at the World Junior Championships in Finland, the likes of Kenny Svechnikov and Joe Hicketts could be a couple of players who will be in Grand Rapids next season.
The Red Wings have a ton of good young talent right now. You see Mantha on that board. He's really, with the injuries, only played a full AHL season pro, so he's coming along nicely as well.
Saved by Mrazek. Mitch Callahan hurt again.
And he's a promising young player as well. Right-handed shot, nice shot, an aggressive player, good skater. Unfortunate for him, I thought he'd be called up at some point in this season. Very effective aggressor on the ice for the Grand Rapids Griffin. Could be a useful player here at the NHL level.
The aforementioned Tomáš Nosek, and it go off his stick and out of play.
Yeah, and as this game's went along, Mrazek's looked sharper and sharper. Out of the blue, aggressive, followed that nicely, tapping the puck away with the stick, and takes it well for goaltenders. It's not going to be the smoothest of starts for either of these guys after 3 days off. Rebound control isn't going to be where it usually is, so you really got to battle for your ice, really be a little more aggressive than you usually are, making sure you're out big above the blue. And Mrazek's done that here so far tonight.
Anderson and Nosek as Glendening goes off in the midst of a change. Ribeiro got knocked off stride by Marchenko. Here's Riley Sheahan, who has the power play goal. Sheahan with a great move. He's right in. Oh, and Datsuk-like fashion, but this time stopped by Rinne. Nice play in.
Oh, what a move by Sheahan. Looks like he's gaining more and more confidence offensively. 2 goals in his last 2 games. Almost had another.
Kronwall beating his countryman to the puck, who stayed with it, then gets away from Forsberg. Jurko for Tatar. Tatar cuts the middle and shoots. Rinne didn't see it. Came loose. Oh, and Jurko just couldn't get a stick on it. And Orchid Sheahan, who then got held but not called. Now Sheahan out of the corner with it. Pumped it back in front of the net, and a chance for Tatar, and a save by Rinne. Boy, all 3 had chances on that shift.
Yeah, and this is a good game plan by this line. Sheahan, the initial chance here, end-to-end rush. Seems like he's gaining more and more confidence offensively. A little toe drag, outside in move, and had an opportunity. Quite didn't get what he wanted on just off the heel of his stick, but I really love this right here. This game plan is perfect by this line. Get pucks to the net on Rinne. He gets scrambling around sometimes. Sheahan did a good job to drive to the net there. Tatar is right on Jurko with an opportunity just prior to that, but that line has looked good here tonight with Jurko being inserted with Sheahan and Tatar with Nyquist on the top line. So far, so good for that line.
As the 4th lines come out now. Circling back in front. And grabbed there by Gostad. Back in Salomaki, and a penalty coming for tripping to Detroit.
Well, Glendening doesn't look like he's too happy with this. So Telemachi went down quite easily, just winning their stick check. Got some of the puck. Years ago, that probably wouldn't have been a penalty. Stick on puck first, then hitting the feet of the Nashville forward. But this year, it's a penalty. The Red Wings here are going to have to contend with a power play that has looked really sharp so far, but hasn't scored. So Jeff Blashill doesn't seem like he's happy either with that call. To me, Ken, Nashville forward Tanaka just went down a little bit too easy.
Then you lose a key penalty killer as well. So Predators power play 9th in the league. their third power play of this game. 0 for 2 thus far. Yossi's got it at center. Roman Josi, so good offensively and defensively. They're leader in block shots as well. Eli Järnkrok put it in back of the net. Järnkrok able to keep it in, giving it to Josi. Without a stick, down low to Kaiser. The Red Wings down a man, down a stick. Järnkrok able to keep it in. Josi. Now the stick given to De Kaiser from Sheahan. Turning is Josi. He's got Weber this side. They're trying to take it away from him. Anderson in that lane for Forsberg. Now there's the shot. Weber, ooh, and high and off the glass.
And Anderson did a great job there to initially block that pass, but sooner or later it's going to get across. Once again, it does there.
And he goes down low with it. And again, it was Weber who had 3 power play goals against Detroit in the first meeting, albeit a Red Wings win in overtime. A long possession here with the man advantage for Nashville. Red Wings again down a man and missing a stick. And Sheahan's without one. They can't get possession to even get a change here. Here's Weber. There's the shot. And it went wide. Yossi's got it. He's got Neal and Järnkrok and Forsberg, who moves it to Weber. Oh, and Mrazek came out on that. And De Kaiser took a swing at it. Penalty over. Glendening out of the box. Some anxious moments for him watching as the puck didn't leave the zone.
The Red Wings did a good job. Loss of a stick and really stayed tight.
Abdelkader, Zetterberg right in. And a save by Rene. Big stop at a big time in the game. Just after his team failed to score in the power play. And that would have been a huge one for Detroit right there. But Rene denies Zetterberg. We're back in a moment. Riley Sheahan's obviously seen a lot of those Datsyuk and Deeks, and particularly here in Nashville.
Yeah, haven't we all? And Riley Sheahan really looking like Pavel Datsyuk on this move. Just didn't have quite the same finish. This is an end-to-end rush by Sheahan. He's known for his defensive play, but he's got some offensive talent as well. And would have been beautiful if Rene wouldn't have stopped him. And this was a while back, and Datsyuk beating 3 Nashville Predators. 4, including the goaltender Rene, one of the best goals of the year. Pavel Datsyuk with another one of those beautiful Datsyukian goals.
And there it was Kevin Klein victimized again. I remember when Pavel picked his pocket with one right in front too. No longer here in Nashville, but a very good defenseman. Oh, and came right in front of the goal as Zetterberg went to clear it. Puck loose as the Red Wings converged on it, and Abdelkader able to bring it in. Matthias Ekholm for Nashville. Turned out to be a pretty good draft in 09 in the 4th round for these Predators, getting Smith and Ekholm just 5 picks apart. Shot by Nyquist was blocked. And then Nyquist took it away, overskated there by Ellis. And Zetterberg in the rest of the way as Rene can't play it outside the trapezoid. Oh, the Red Wings, that was deflected as Richards came on. Nashville put it right at him. They did not call too many men on the ice. The Red Wings have had one already tonight. Helm with a shot that'll be grabbed by Rene and he'll hold on for a faceoff. And at Joe Louis Arena, as we mentioned, number 8 on defense, no longer with the Nashville Predators. Kevin Klein, there it is.
Well, you shouldn't feel bad because that's happened to a lot of players in the National Hockey League, but not very many guys in this league can finish like that. To me, one of the best backhanders in the National Hockey League, Pavel Datsyuk owns. And wow, he scored some goals over his career.
And his streak continues against the Predators with .72 in 67 games played in his career now against Nashville with an assist tonight. Datsyuk taken to the boards by Weber on defense with Josi against Datsyuk, Richards, and Helm. Richards to the line for Kindle. The shot, it's tipped through with Helm in front, but Rene will hold on. Purchase a $67 fan pack to see the Wings and Blues Wednesday, January 20th. 2 tickets, 2 food vouchers, 2 soft drinks starting at just $67. To get your fan pack tickets, 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by. Riley Shan with Tatar and Yurko. Tatar's got it. Rolled off his stick as he's checked by James Neal. Neal leading Nashville with 13 goals. Larkin leads Detroit with 13 out of the lineup tonight, so that leaves Gus Nyquist as the Red Wings' leading goal scorer playing with 12. Tatar and Abdelkader each with 11. Tatar in a perfect spot and laid one back for Kronwall. Sheahan back for Tatar. Stick check there by Josi. Yurko tried to create a little bit of space there for Green as he collided with Weber. Roman Josi's got it. 27 points this month for both Josi and Weber combined. Shot up high on Mrazek and a great stop and a second one. Diving out, got that. Whoa, sprawling Peter Mrazek without a stick now. Stopped it anyway and cleared away by Green to the corner. Mrazek regains control of his stick. Big stops by the Red Wing netminder.
At his scrambling best, Mrazek battling in that net to keep that puck, doing everything he could to get something out. Red Wings doing a good job as well defensively to really collapse down and give him every ounce of help they could.
Green helped him out on one of them. He stopped 28 of 32 in the overtime win against Nashville at the Joe back on December 5th. Mrazek still with just 2 regulation losses in 13 starts since Halloween. He didn't start the game against New Jersey that he took the loss in relief of Jimmy Howard. Saved there by Mrazek with Nystrom right there on the lip of the crease and able to find it. Some big stops by the Red Wing goaltender with some help from Green on one. We're back to Nashville in a moment.
You're wondering where Dylan Larkin is. Not a lineup tonight here. Took 2 heavy checks against the New Jersey Devils. Both by Moore. After the game, Blashill saying the league should do a better job of protecting the young players. Abdelkader, the leader that he did just that, got in here. This was an aggressive game, and Larkin, who's kind of become a pest, and he's unnoticed around the league. Teams know him. He's had a great season so far. Red Wings doing well without him so far here in Nashville, though.
Right now listed as day-to-day. Aren't we all? But
and I mean, really, those seem like they're just those are hockey plays. I don't think any more was not being dirty or not trying to inflict injury on Larkin there. That's just hockey. 2 guys battling for pucks, and Larkin just happened to come out at the wrong end of both of those checks. Moore, a very good hockey player for the Devils, is not that kind of player.
that was blocked in front, went off the stick of Pavel Datsyuk. Picked up here by Matthias Ekholm. Checked by the long reach of De Keyser. Ellis and a shot glance off a stick and out of play as Red Wings are in another 1-goal game. Nashville's been in quite a few 1-goal games as well, 3 fewer than Detroit. And the Predators don't have near the record in 1-goal games as do the Red Wings. Nashville is 9-4-6. The Red Wings a very good 12-3-7. So only 3 regulation losses in 1-goal games, and they've played the most now.
Outstanding record. And they've played a lot of tight third-period games. And yeah, they've lost some leads, but I think they've played well. It hasn't been from lack of performance. Just because when you're in so many tight games, eventually you are going to give up the lead, and they've won more times than not. A very good 1-goal record.
Green will send it in. Weber checked there by Gus Nyquist. Aim free for Colton Sissons. Able to get it for Josi. Just loops one out to center ice, being tracked down there by Hodgson in front and tipped just wide. Victor Arvidsson out there along with Sissons and Hodson for Nashville up front. Green behind the safety of the net of Mrazek, played it off the glove of Glendening, back down in the Predator zone for Seth Jones, the 4th overall pick in 2013. His younger brother was drafted this past June by Edmonton. Quite the athletic family, that Jones family. Join us again Monday. The Red Wings will be in Minnesota, where it'll be a whole lot colder than it is here. It was like 65 degrees today in Nashville. They'll take on the Wild. Our coverage begins at 7:30 with Red Wings Live. That's Red Wings and Wild Monday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit. The Wild are home to Pittsburgh tonight. They've got a pretty balanced attack and good quickness among their forward group. They'll be playing the 4th game of a 4-game homestand with Minnesota. Rene leaving it there for Jones, who moved it back for Jackman. First 803 games of Jackman's career played with the Blues. And called on the offside. Face-off coming outside the Red Wing blue line.
Yeah, speaking of Jackman, he had the luxury of playing with Al MacInnis the year he won the Calder Trophy, and Zetterberg was a close second. But Jackman, great career in St. Louis. Played with him for a couple of years there as well. Steady, stayed home defenseman with some offensive talent, but real aggressive. He's a gamer. Good acquisition by the Nashville Predators to go along with their already strong defense.
Icing charged against Detroit. This Nashville team, who has a 1 goal here tonight, they went through a 3-game goal drought in November where they were shut out in 3 straight. Shot that Mrazek never saw, and Craig Smith found the back of the net.
An unfortunate break for the Red Wings. Shane, who's been great in the face-off circle tonight. Nashville Predators winning this draw. Ribeiro was good on draws as well. Nice job to kick this back, get some support. Smith, who jumps in. Just a quick snapshot through traffic. Marchenko in front of that as well. Couldn't get the block. He tried to get out there and block that shot. Maybe hit him a bit. Mrazek not really having any opportunity to see that before it's over his shoulder in, reacting late on that after it's already by him. Red Wings really playing a great period up until this point. Craig Smith with the CNI goal to tie the game at 2.
And he's had a slow start to the year for him. He led Nashville last season in shots. He had 252. And he had 94 coming into the game tonight. And unofficially, that's his first of the evening. Ribeiro getting the lone assist, as you saw. Smith made that happen off the face-off. It's 17-11. So we're all even at 2. Danny DeKeyser for Detroit, up to Abdelkader at center. Had Kindle with him, across center and in. Played up by Salomaki. Kronwall goes back to get it. For Mike Green. Good feed through here to Pavel Datsyuk. In back of the net. Helm circles up high with it, using his speed. Blocked by James Neal. Now Pavel Datsyuk on the near boards. Moved it back to the line for Kronwall. A shot was tipped up high, knocked down by Helm, bumped there by Josi. Datsyuk's got it at center ice. Plays it ahead for Green. Found its way through to Helm, back in front. Helm's got it again. Leaves it there for Brad Richards. Brendan Smith, quick shot through and just went wide. Datsuk hustling over to get it. Regains control. Datsuk here for Green. Pass across for Smith, cut off, so he went back into the corner with it. Now Riley Shane. Yossi took him out of the play. Brendan Smith with a little head shake. Richards let it go deliberately to the near side for Green, and Rene had to make a save there. Less than a minute to go here in the second period. Driven to the boards by Datsuk was Colin Wilson. Brendan Smith across center for Detroit and into the Predator zone for Tatar. Smith moving up on it. Tried to beat Tatar again. Tatar's got it now, back for Brendan Smith. Fights off a check. Keeps control. Trying to get around Matthias Ekholm. Sheahan ducked underneath a hit from Jackman. Came to the front of the goal. On an intended feed for Yurko with 20 seconds to go in the period. De Keyser with a shot that glanced off a leg. Tatar over to pick it up. And couldn't keep it in. Our MGM Grand Detroit intermission report with Trevor Thompson, Pavel Datsuk, part 2 of There's More to the Story, subtitles and all. And here Pavel Datsuk tell his story on his arrival in the National Hockey League.
Well, we're so fortunate to get a chance to watch Pavel Datsuk night in, night out in a Red Wing uniform. But what a response by the Red Wings after Nashville tied the game. Not one, not two, but three great shifts, changing on the fly, keeping that puck in Nashville's zone, coming very close and taking the lead.
Zetterberg and Gostad go after it with 3 seconds to go in the period. That'll now conclude. So not a lot of shots in this game. 17 for the Red Wings, 15 for Nashville, all tied at 2 after 2. Trevor Thompson on the other side of this break and more on Pavel Datsuk. Arriving back on the ice here at Bridgestone Arena for period number 3. Ken Daniels, Chris Osgood with you. And a reminder that tickets are on sale now for the Great Lakes Invitational coming up next Tuesday and Wednesday. See Michigan, Michigan Tech, Michigan State, and Northern battle it out for the McInnes Cup. Tickets start at $15. Little Caesars Family 4-pack start at $49. For tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com.
Yeah, that should be a great tournament. But now let's take a look at the Rams' guts and glory play. Riley Sheahan has been all over the ice tonight here, driving the net offensively and defensively. Very good. Coach Jeff Blashill finds it easy to throw this guy over the boards. He's very reliable forward on both ends of the rink here, showing some Datsukian moves. Yeah, but he couldn't finish that. That could have been a goal of the night. And here, getting a goal tonight, his second in 2 games. Riley Sheahan playing on a line with Tatar and Yurko has been very good here in Nashville tonight.
And that second Nashville goal, which was credited originally to number 15, Craig Smith, from Ribeiro, the centerman, has now been given to number 9, Philip Forsberg, as it glanced off him into the net. So Forsberg has the goal, his 8th of the season, and this is sophomore campaign. The former 11th overall pick of Washington in 2012. And a great deal came to Nashville. He's well off his numbers of his rookie year last year when he scored 26 goals and 63 points. He was in the Calder consideration for some time, scoring just his 8th goal and his 23rd point this year. As you see the records of these 2 teams where they are now after 40 minutes of play, all even. As third period is underway, De Keyser starts in the back end with Kronwall, Datsuk, Richards, and Helm up front. The Red Wings' Peter Mrazek defending the goal to our right. Knocked away by Forsberg and back into Detroit territory.
Ken, important period here for the Red Wings, starting a tough 3-game road trip. You want to come out of this period with some points. Want to make sure you play a north-south game here, no turnovers, and get some pucks on Rene. He's looked a little shaky at times. Test him, make him work here in the third period.
Danny De Keyser surveys the situation. Told to wait there by Brad Richards because the forwards are in the midst of a change. Zetterberg, Abdelkader, and Nyquist coming out for Detroit. Applicators got it at center. Good move to get it away from Kelly Yarncroc. Oh, and a shot just wide by Applicator. To the line, Nyquist floated one in back of the goal that Rene will play. Around for Wilson, off the stick of Green at center. Move up to Brendan Smith. Carried back here by Roman Josi. Knocked down to the ice by Smith. Neal checks Zetterberg. And Smith took it away from Neal for Applicator. Weber moved in for Nashville. To the far side goes Josi. Josi right in, circling the goal, wrap-around try off the back of the net. Play to the line here for Weber and a one-timer wide. Roman Josi from the other side. Moved ahead by Green, then he got checked by Yarncroc. Back in front for Neal, he missed it. Here's Weber. A wrister in front off a pass. Nyquist gave it away at the line. And a shot in by Jones will be held by Mrazek. Now to the Red Wings, threw one right up the middle.
Well, Nyquist, when you're down low, you can't throw the puck to your point man up high, and that's exactly what he did. Luckily, both groups of forwards retired. The defenseman didn't get that much on it. Easy save for Mrazek, but Red Wings under some pressure there. Lucky to get out of that tight at 2, but Nyquist has got to realize when he's down low with that puck, either you got to eat it, find where your defenseman, wait for the support.
Draw one by Sissons to the line and kept in by the Predators. Knocked away by Mrazek. Oh, Mrazek quick with the left pad. Another shot just wide. That one for Victor Arvidsson. But a great stop there by Peter Mrazek. Jones to Jackman. Back for Seth Jones. Knocked down at center by Tomas Tatar. And offside.
Well, Peter Mrazek's been tested here early in the third period. Jackman just putting this on net. Rebound by the Nashville player just wide. They're tough saves for goalies. Those floaters that come through might get blocked, might not. You got to find it through traffic. Mrazek did a good job to get the first one. Made himself look big on that second one. Nashville forward setting that just wide.
Gaustad in on this faceoff against Glendening. Gaustad a left-hand shot, but will turn his stick around on occasion to go to the right side. He's an ambidextrous faceoff man. He's been working on that, but hasn't done it as much lately. What with the change in NHL rules where the defensive player has to put his stick down first. Not as much with the reaction, he says, to see what the other is doing. So hasn't done it as frequently lately, but not an easy thing to accomplish to be proficient from both sides, right or left.
Oh, but if you were to ever get really good at it, wow, that'd be something that'd be very valuable to your team.
Said he started doing it 4 years ago. Tried to teach Kelly Yarncroc. He's been working on it with him. Not easy to do, but Yarncroc has been trying a similar thing. That's Seth Jones. Here's Forsberg in full flight. Philip Forsberg, he's in, wrist shot, saved by Mrazek. Rebound, going to the goal with Smith, but he was covered on the way through. Brad Richards for Darren Helm. Sort of a homecoming for Helm on this trip, going back to Manitoba. The Red Wings will meet the Jets. Here's Kronwall, getting it back, the shot, hit the goalpost. What a feedback from Datsuk for Kronwall, and only the iron prevented a 3-2 Red Wing lead. Datsuk in front for DeKaiser. And it's up and out of play. Well, you saw some of the Datsuk magic we saw from the 2 intermissions tonight in full play right there.
Well, Red Wings with some great opportunity on the Nashville goaltender Rene in this line here. With Datsuk, Helm, and Richards creating opportunity, and Richards really making some nice passing plays. Kron with the latest opportunity. A little give and go here with Pavel Datsuk. Shot just about beats him off the post there. Really, Kronwall, you've seen him do that a lot. It's a little give and go with Pavel Datsuk, and Kronwall just about put the Wings in the lead there.
Delay a game. Puck shot up and out of play, so the Red Wings 1 for 2 on the power play. Go back to the Bell Tire power play now. and look to take their third lead of this game. So Forsberg sits in the box after he shot the puck out of play. Gostad and Salomaki penalty killing for Nashville. Red Wings Beltire power play has Zetterberg, who couldn't get through, up with Abdelkader. Nyquist, Kronwall, and Kindle. Nicholas Kronwall across center, dropped it back as Nyquist gives it for Zetterberg. Weaving his way into the Nashville zone and turning up high with it to the line for Kronwall. And the shot was tipped wide of the goal. Zetterberg away from Yarncroft. And played back by Weber down the ice. But touched with a high stick by Detroit, so the face-off will come back into the Red Wing zone on the power play. Touched with a high stick by the Red Wings.
And a big opportunity here for the Red Wings. 5 minutes just over into the third period here with score tied, having a chance to take the lead. Had a lot of these opportunities and a lot of games here of late, haven't been able to convert. Rennie, who gets a little bit too active in there. I'd like to see the Red Wings here get a lot of pucks on that, even from a bad angle. Make them work.
Richards got that draw from Gostad. Gostad, one of the best face-off men in the league, percentage-wise. Past 10 years or so. Brad Richards. Back for Tatar. Shan gives him the puck back. Tatar to the line for Richards. For Mike Green, right side. Richards on the left. The two free agent signings. Pass to one another. Now Datsuk's got it. Pavel Datsuk moved it back in, but Ellis took it for Nashville. Richards couldn't keep it in. A race for it. Out comes Mrazek. And the safe play back for Richards. Here comes Datsuk off the steal. For Tatar. Off the side of the goal and a save by Rinne. Penalty over. Forsberg out of the box, and he has the puck. This crowd that can be very loud here in Nashville, they'll get plenty of opportunity to cheer for the All-Star game with 3-on-3 hockey of 20-minute periods. There will be a lot of goals being scored.
What a nightmare for the goaltender that's going to be.
Helm. Back to the line for Smith to score! Tipped in front, although Glendening pointed at Brendan Smith. But Glendening was in front, and he tipped it off the Smith shot. So Luke Glendening, and it's 3-2 Red Wings.
Darren Helm does a nice job to get this puck initially to Smith on the play. And Smith does an equally good job to get this through. Glendening with just a superb tip through, but what a job by Smith to get this puck through. He had the presence of mind not to wait, not to clean the puck off, but to get it through right away. And Glendening with a Thomas Holmstrom X tip in front of Pekka Rinne, but they're going to take a look at this.
Now the Situation Room in Toronto says good goal. Remember, it's a crossbar height for the stick on a goal.
Here Smith with the shot through. Now this is closer than it appeared at first here. Glendening's stick just underneath crossbar.
Yep, level.
That's a good goal.
Knocked down and elsewhere in play, it's shoulder height for a player, but crossbar height to determine whether a goal. So the Red Wings have their third lead of this game. Brendan Smith with a goal and a helper tonight. And 3 Predators are up. In front. And a shot by Neal gets blocked. So Glendening has his first goal in 14 games. And the Red Wings lead at 3-2. Darren Helm gets the second assist. Ribeiro shot. Tatar thankful that didn't get through. Ellis battling there with Sheahan. He gets help from Yurko, who's got it. Pass back in front for Tatar. Kronwall with a good little delay to get some space off the side of the net. Then Yurko gets hit. Back for Mike Ribeiro, who was bought out by Arizona, had a terrific season last season with Nashville, did Ribeiro, with 15 goals and 62 points. Turned over at center. In the midst of a change of the Predators, 3 Red Wings are up. Helm to Datsuk. Got checked. Ribeiro's got it. Ribeiro with only 4 goals this year. His average way down. Saved by Mrazek. Couldn't hold the rebound. Kindle able to move it out of harm's way as Helm gives it to Richards. Long shot in that Rinne wasting no time, plays it. As a goaltender, he's very confident moving the puck. At times you shake your head like
overconfident.
Right.
He's shooting it away sometimes, and the Red Wings are ending up with the puck as a coach or as a player. Sometimes you want to settle that down, get control of the puck, possess it. He's just turning it over far too many times here.
Loose for Brendan Smith. No icing. You say Jones could have got there, although the little handshake, Jones thought, no, he couldn't have. But the Predators do get it out of their zone anyway. Then loose at center for Tomáš Nosek. In his NHL debut tonight, number 83 for the Red Wings. Given up at center. Here comes Smith with a shot and a save made, and Jackman on the rebound, driven to the boards by Nosek. Nearly stolen there by Zetterberg as they go end-to-end here. Good save by Mrazek, well out on the Cody Hodgson attempt. So Luke Glendening has given the Red Wings a 1-goal lead in Nashville.
But the Red Wings up 3-2 is a beneficiary of some hard work by his line mates. Yurko doing a good job of getting in on Jackman, using that big body. This was Jeff Blashill wants to see him do. Creates a turnover. Nice support by Helmer. A nice move here by Helm, who stays with the puck. Puts it back to Smith, who gets it to the net very quick, and a nice tip by Glendening. That's a textbook goal by the Red Wings by that line. A little bit of forecheck. You got the support. You got the puck back to the point with a quick shot through. Traffic at the net with a tip. Wings up 3-2.
Zetterberg put the puck to the corner off the face-off as Nyquist comes over. Checked by Josi, who's got it. Roman Josi moving in with it. Now has it back of the goal. Predators defenseman moved it back to his partner Weber, back to Josi. There's a shot. Oh, and I don't know if that glanced off the goalpost. That may hit the left post.
Oh, those two are so good together, finding each other, getting open for those shots. Hard to defend.
Now it's Abdelkader for Zetterberg. Point leader on the Red Wings with 27. Weber tied up by Nyquist. Josi got it to center ice, following up is Kelly Yarncroc. Jeff Blashill says it's an elite work ethic, a smart player. Number 19 for the Predators, who goes off with Neal and Wilson in a change. Helm able to recover as Ribeiro was lurking. Knocked away at center. Smith knocked it back into the Predators' end for Ribeiro. Lead pass through center from Ekholm to Forsberg. Datsuk took it away. Surrounded by Predators, Datsuk will dump it in as Ellis, as Rinne was well out of the goal to play it again. Here comes Ryan Ellis through center. Gets the drop pass from Ribeiro and then the return feed for the Predators center and back. To the line it comes. Ekholm with a shot that went wide. Mrazek couldn't play it off the backboards. And brought out the center. 1-on-3 is Tatar, who lifts a backhander in. And Rinne will scoop around and give it to the former Windsor Spitfire. Ellis ahead for Craig Smith. And that's into the Red Wing bench and out of play. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit Plus, presented by Bell Tire. Well, it was a good thing that October of last year in Grand Rapids, Tomasz Nosek and Peter Mrazek lived in the same apartment building. It was Nosek's first year in the United States. He spoke very little English. The end of October, he tried opening a package with a kitchen knife, and the blade slipped, and Nosek's left hand was sliced open. He was unfamiliar with 911, knew nothing about it, couldn't make the call, and he knocked on Mrazek's door at 10:30. There was blood everywhere, and Peter Mrazek was able to get his pal to the hospital, or who knows what would have happened. Nosek missed 7 weeks with that left hand injury, but now it's as good as new.
Like a lot of times this year, Mrazek saves the day once again.
That's right. Nosek making his NHL debut here tonight. Josi circles the goal. Still with the puck. Salomaki toward the net. Loose in front. Gostad jamming away along with Nystrom. And is punched back out by the Red Wings into the Predator zone. So a close call there. That's Glendening just trying to wait it out. And sure enough, the Predators give it up as Helm brings it right back in. A long shot. Rene able to move. De Kaiser. Puck didn't get out, sent back in. The Mrazek deflects aside. Ekholm with a shot, that missed. Kept into the line smartly there by Jones. Across to Ekholm. In behind for James Neal. Neal with 197 career goals. Datsuk from center sends the Predators back. Seth Jones. 6:35 to go, third period. Ken Daniels, Chris Osgood with you. Glad you're with us tonight, wherever you're watching on Fox Sports Detroit Plus. Mike Green able to move it quickly. Tatar to Sheahan along with Yurko. Roman Josi for Forsberg. 85-foot pass to Smith, who got knocked down. Carrying on was Ellis. Didn't get through, and a lead pass too far for Yurko. Josi to an open wing. Yurko lifted the stick of Ellis, and Roman Josi carries on. He loves to go end-to-end. Josi got stood up. Just as he was putting on the brakes, Brendan Smith took away any room he had left. That's lifted in deep for Forsberg, tied up by Nosek, played by Kindle, ahead for Anderson, and out of trouble. Seth Jones regains control with 5.5 to go in the third. Shea Weber goes to pick it up. As long as he's been playing, no Norris Trophy yet for Shea Weber. Seth Jones battling there along with Kronwall. Fans wanted a penalty, and Kaiser was able to move one for Zetterberg. Now to Abdelkader. He's forward back. Nyquist, wrist shot, and missed the target. Nyquist moving in along with Abdelkader. Colton Sissons for Nashville. Played it into the middle for Arvidsson. Interfered with just enough, but not to take a penalty by De Kaiser. Drop back here for Zetterberg. Nyquist just had to play it deep and deflected out of play. Brendan Smith laying on the body. We're back to Nashville in a moment.
Welcome back. Two teams are used to get along together. Renew the rivalry here tonight. Tonight's hard hits are brought to you by Timberland Pro, and there has been plenty of them. Weber and Yurko, ex-St. Louis Blue, Jackman getting in on it. This has been an aggressive game, a fast game, a lot of hitting. These two teams used to meet a lot in the playoffs. I was part of that. And there were some fun games already, and tonight's been a great game too.
Bouncing puck. It's loose. And a save by Mrazek on a backhand by Neal. And icing charge to Detroit.
Peter Mrazek continues to play well. What I like most about his game is when the game is in doubt and on the line, he's at his best. Plays solid. This guy's a big-time goaltender, makes the big saves when he's called upon, and right there is just that.
Glendening, who has the go-ahead goal, checked there by Weber. And that hat-trick that Weber scored against Detroit, all in the power play earlier in this season, earlier this month, was Weber's first hat-trick, surprisingly, his career. Not that they happen a lot for defensemen. Nick Lidstrom's still the oldest defenseman to get one.
And the Red Wings have done a good job keeping him in check tonight. He hasn't had as many shots as he did at Joe Louis Arena that night. Had just 2 shots through 2 periods and done a nice job on him here in the third as well.
The key is not to give them too many power plays. 3 tonight. Off Abdelkader, Ribeiro goes in hard after the puck. Brendan Smith with a good turn, back for Abdelkader again. Nyquist stopped at center, Zetterberg following up. Jones for Nashville on defense with Ekholm.
Okay, that's a good point. It's not Weber who's really dangerous 5-on-5. That would be Yossi. The Red Wings got to keep an eye on him here.
And Forsberg too, as Forsberg's got it, circling in back of the net, checked by Marchenko. He finds Jones. Cuts back to the middle. Good stick check by Nyquist. Abdelkader, second attempt, got it out to center. 2:45 to go in the third period. Shots are even and the Red Wings lead by 1. Looking for a 4th consecutive win over the Predators. And a 7th, they're past 9. Sheahan knocked it down. Moved ahead here. Linesman goes down as Tatar brings it in, but the play onside. Cleared away by Ellis. Tatar stayed with it. Back to the point for De Keyser. Too far for Green. Did well to knock it away from Neal. Sheahan in back of the goal. Riley Sheahan, who had the second Red Wing goal tonight. Smith and Glendening, the other Red Wing goal scorers. 2 to go. Rene's still in goal. Long pass. Tatar open. 2-on-1. Datsuk right in. And tried to make the pass and couldn't get it through. Blocked smartly is Ellis, who's got it. Got down in front of it. Now Rene looks to the bench and he's going. So empty net for the Predators. 90 seconds to go in the third. Forsberg into the Red Wing zone. Punched back by Mrazek to the line, but not out. Kept in by Seth Jones. Ribeiro moved back here to Jones and a shot, and that was blocked by Helm. Another shot by Weber. Loose, and Mrazek's got it. Weber let that first shot go that Helm got in front of.
Yeah, the Red Wings forwards have been great really defensively all night long tonight. Nyquist with a nice play defensively earlier, but Helm getting in the shooting lane there. Riley Sheahan as well all night long has been getting in the shooting lane, but that's a big block by Helm, and then Mrazek using all that 6-1 frame to find that wrist shot that came through traffic. Did a fabulous job crawling that rebound, not allowing a second opportunity.
So Peter Laviolette has called timeout for Nashville. We're back in a moment. While the Red Wings have been involved in 22 one-goal games already this season, will this wind up being a 23rd?
And it is, Ken. They've been great all season long in these situations. Yes, you hear about people saying they've given up leads just because they've been in so many hockey games in the third period. More time than not, they've won these games here. Another big draw. Luke Glendening's going to take this one.
And he'll be up against Paul Gaustet, who goes down and drops to his knees, as most do now on face-offs. Not allowed to play it with your hands, so they drop to their knee to get leverage. So net empty here for the Predators. Weber's shot blocked. Datsuk with Abdelkader and Glendening. Ribeiro swings one back to the line. Weber on the far side. Josi this side. Back to Ribeiro. Screen in front of Mrazek. There's Weber. The shot. Mrazek the save. Picked up by Ribeiro. Half minute to go in the third. Kept in just barely by Josi. For Weber. To Ribeiro. From 30 feet. Down low. Back in front. Mrazek the save. And off the top of the bar and stays out. Here's Josi. Ribeiro with a dozen seconds to go. Josi back at the line. Red Wings doing a good job. Blocked in front. Picked up here by Weber. This shot to the near side. 2 seconds left. Back in front. Blocked by Datsuk. Red Wings win 3-2 the final. Another one-goal victory for Detroit. And a league-high 13th. They win it to kick off the 3-game trip in fine fashion. A 3-2 win.
Just a huge win. Got to credit the Red Wings forward all night long. I don't know how many block shots they had all night, but wow, they blocked a lot here, and Danny DeKeyser's doing a good job here. The Red Wings really sold out here. Whacks that away from the crease, are out of danger, DeKeyser does, but the Red Wings forwards and defense really sold out in front of goaltender Mrazek, doing a great job protecting that, blocking shots, not allowing Weber to get off that big slap shot.
24 saves for Peter Mrazek, who's still in his last 14 starts now. These are starts, has just 2 regulation losses. Another great performance from Peter Mrazek.
Now let's take a look at our big boys' big play of the game, and who else? Luke Glendening. Yeah, he got the game winner. Nice play here by Helman Smith. Quick shot right through, realizing Glendening was there. Great tip down between the Nashville goaltender's legs, and Glendening is our big boys' big play of the game with that game-winning goal. Beating the Red Wings to a huge win here on the road in Nashville.
So some unexpected sources tonight in Smith, Sheahan, and Glendening getting the goals. Red Wings Live post-game begins immediately following this break.